Hello, this is Latonya Bernard, and I want to share with you all the curriculum updates for the third 9 weeks. On the curriculum updates, you can see that we have, let me make it a little larger. Okay, you can see that we have for the seventh grade, the students should be studying types of reproduction, asexual versus sexual. They also should be looking at their heredity, dominant to recessive traits, should be continued. They're also looking at the um, flow of energy through living systems. So their food chains, food webs, energy pyramid, and so on. While they're doing these different activities in labs, they should also look at how scientists add to the body of scientific knowledge, as well as limitations to models, and they should be using models in their food chains and energy pyramids and so on. Eighth grade will be studying Earth, the changes to crustal features of the Earth over time. They're looking at plate tectonics. What are the mechanics of plate tectonics? Why does it happen? Two scientists you should hear them discuss are Alfred Wegener, who was the originator for continental drift, as well as Harry Hess, who actually proved that Alfred Wegener's theory was correct when he discovered seafloor spreading. Um, the students should be studying and possibly making topographic maps and also studying satellite images. For this and for the seventh grade as well, there are many Jason project lab activities that the teachers have the options to use. They are embedded in the curriculum, and during district staff development, we actually use some of those labs to help the teachers with understanding the curriculum during district staff development. So in seventh grade, there's the food chain game, the food where the teachers or the kids actually play competitive sports outside for one to demonstrate how predators and prey um, work together or against each other, so to speak. There's also one that can be done in the classroom with predator and prey as well. For eighth grade, we actually had the teachers to do one of the labs with oil and the candle, where they got to actually show the convection of the mantle and how that causes the Earth's crust to move. I know that many of the campuses, many of the teachers prefer to do the graham cracker model. However, the graham cracker model has many limitations. It doesn't actually show why the Earth's crust moves, and so it doesn't teach the students the mechanics involved as far as the convection that is causing the Earth's plates to move. Additionally, the graham cracker model is much more expensive to do every single year than it is for to do the model that is from Jason, in that you have to buy graham crackers and icing and fruit roll-ups and everything for all of the students. Whereas in Jason, you once the Pyrex plates are ordered are in stock, and you have the blocks and the candles, then the only thing that is consumable is the oil and the seasonings. The oil can be reused if the teachers just funnel it back into bottles, and then they just have to buy new seasoning each year, which is much less expensive than buying so many graham crackers. So I do favor the graham cracker model, and I feel that when I was a classroom teacher, it was a better lab for my students because I have done both of them. Also, of course, students should be looking at the advantages and limitations to models. So, how can I change this model to make it better? 8.4a, they're looking at the scientists and how those scientists have added to the body of knowledge. And of course, you're looking at critical and analytical thinking and how to respond and um, analyze and draw inferences from scientific inquiry. The instructional strategies, of course, I've mentioned the Jason Project lab activities. There's also FET simulations for the seventh grade. That is a computer-based lab activity. So the teachers will need to use the computer labs or Chromebooks for that. Um, there for Jason for eighth grade, of course, I mentioned the tectonic fury, and all teachers had an opportunity to do this during the district staff development. There's also had an opportunity. Everyone did a satellite images lab, what's called the um, Sugar Cube Mountain Lab activity, and the teachers enjoyed it. So I'm hoping that they actually implement it in the classroom, and it gives the kids an opportunity to actually construct a mountain of sugar cubes and actually see the sugar cube change over time. It's also focusing on the process standards in that the students are collecting data. They're collecting both the qualitative and quantitative data and documenting changes over time. And it's really going to help them with analyzing data on the assessments. Other activity strategies will come from SIOP and lead forward. There are some that are already embedded in the curriculum, but of course, different teachers may choose to use different ones. But there are some that we do prefer. Um, our students should be engaged in argument-driven inquiry activities as much as possible. And because also they should have be doing 40% labs, of course. For the assessment, the eighth grade assessment includes 30 multiple choice questions, and they also have a one question writing prompt. The seventh grade will again do the mealworms PBA as well as an expository writing prompt. The think tank will be held at Teague Middle School on January 24th and February 1st. On the 24th, we're going to continue the book study that we started in September. And then on the 1st, we'll be visiting classrooms and we'll be working on quality conversations in the coaching environment. So we'll be, again, modeling how to coach teachers and what questions and conversations, things that should come up in those conversations, um, similar to the way we did it in September. The science fair will be held at Aldine Middle School again. It's going to be, we're going to set up on January 26th, and we'll be having the actual fair on January 27th. As you know, we still need judges as of today, which is January the 11th. I know that you all are watching this at a much later date. But at this time, judges are still needed, and we are going to, do what we have to do to make sure our kids get the best opportunities possible. One thing I do want to point out about the science fair is that when the students are competing in a category and they're the only competitor, they do not necessarily get to be the winner of that category based on the quality of the science project. We don't want to move a project forward just because it was the only project in its category. We want to make sure it's quality and it's competitive ready for our competition ready for the regional science fair. Um, and I'll share more about that with you all later as well. Also, with the DIMSA photography competition, the contest for this year, the photos will be taken to the high school fair and judged there. The students won't have to go with their photos. They're going to just judge the photos and the essays because both fairs are held at the same time. And so next year we'll go back to the students presenting their photos at the middle school fair. Lunch will not be provided. So if you're going to feed your students, let me know. And if you need me to arrange for there to be a room for them to go to eat in, we want to make sure that the kids are monitored at all times while they're on campus. So they'll need someone to be with them to, wherever they are, so that we can take care of the whole school. Okay. Argonaut applications will be due on February 28th. This is something we wanted to continue. We need students and teachers to apply because, of course, we'll be sending one student and one teacher on whatever mission they are chosen to go to. Again, the deadline will be February 28th, and the selections will be made by March the 30th. Um, of course, the winners of our science fair will continue on to the regional science fair on February 23rd and 24th. Okay. I've also had contracted for Region 4 to come for 3 Saturdays during the spring. It's going to be one Saturday per month to do professional development for the science teachers. So let's encourage the teachers to register for that. It's currently not there yet. I'm waiting for the contract to go through fast. And then as soon as it is, I'll let you all know.